Hi everyone, and welcome to Loveworks. I am Stella, and we are going to do an all signs tarot reading for you today. What we are going to do is, I'm calling it the clarity spread. So this spread is designed for whatever you personally are struggling or wrestling with and would like more clarity on. Okay, Aries, let's see what the message is for you. Tell me about Aries, please. Aries. We are looking at their clarity message. Negotiation. Jupiter in Libra. So Jupiter is very expansive. It's definitely an expansive planet. Libra is about all things fair, balanced, just. So expanding things fairly, justly, karmically in good favor. So, because, right action, wrong action, one leads to good karma, one leads to bad, right? So, balancing right action, making sure we're moving towards the right action, expanding in our fairness, in our justness, in our balance. Okay. All right, so let's get the tarot. Let's see what's going on for you, Aries. Okay, there could literally be some sort of negotiations going on for you as well. With this card coming out with Jupiter, I would say then that will go well. That can absolutely show that negotiations, as long as you are staying balanced and present, will go very well. Jupiter is a benevolent or a very auspicious, good luck, type of planet. Okay, so let's see, what else do we have, please, for Aries? Very clear message here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Something is causing you more grief than you are possibly realizing. I feel it has to do with where you live or your home. It could even be family situations. Again, remember, these are general readings, so this could be around a romantic situation, a family situation, a work situation. So whatever it is that you are seeking clarity on, there's definitely a message here that you aren't in the right space, or surrounded by the right situational people, I would say. So I'm getting a birds of a feather flock together a vibe from this, where it's like needing to find new birds, if you will. I feel like right now you are feeling like that you've worked something out, or that something is balanced, or there's been some sort of fair negotiation with something. I do feel it ties in for a lot of you with your living situation, but again, this is general, so that could be your work situation or your love situation. The thing is, it's like some of you may be feeling very broken right now, very down and out, very on your own, like feeling like no one is really understanding you or understanding the situations that you bear. And it's one of those things where I feel like it's actually where you are supposed to be. And I know that doesn't sound like fair, but, and it doesn't have to be, though. That's the good news. Okay. But I feel like you are, it's not because you've been bad or you deserve bad things or you deserve all this like crap or, anything like that at all. All right. But there is something here about some sort of it feels more to me like a a major lesson in something, and it has to do with whom you surround yourself with, is what I am getting, or giving to the wrong situations or something along those lines. So I do feel like you may feel some sense of loyalty to a particular person, be it work, family, love, that you do definitely have an emotional bond here with. And I do believe that that is real, and there is some good definitely surrounding that. All right. There is some genuinity surrounding it. However, it's holding you back in some way, because I feel like there's this sense of wanting to. Some of you may be high empaths who relate, or like don't typically, but you found yourself in relating to their energy, and it's actually keeping you from your natural state of leadership here. So with your card showing up, which is the Aries card here for Emperor. Okay, so it's more about starting to realize that you are the emperor of your own kingdom. I feel like you guys haven't been able to be the emperor of your kingdom for a while, and it may, again, have something to do with your living situation, or obligations to friends or family or something along those lines. So it's time to create a fair and balanced negotiation between either literally with others or within like yourself, your higher self, right? Like, hey, I can't keep giving to a situation that's leaving me bereft. All right. So this is actually, if you're going through hard times, Aries, it's more, again, I hate to say it's on purpose, and it's not because, again, that you've done something bad or you have bad karma or anything like that. It's on purpose in the sense of the school of life, because it's showing you that you're not this, but you've sort of given too much to situations, that you've drained your own cup in a sense, and others may have played a hand in that. All right, unsuspectingly. So not intentionally is what I'm seeing here. So I do feel like it's very difficult and draining to acknowledge this, but the sooner you do, it's like the better this is going to be for you, because then now you're going to be able to move forward towards like a real sincere connection. And yeah, 8 of Pentacles, perfect. I also think too that if it has anything to do with like finances, money, maybe being sunk into a home or into a living situation or something along those lines, like realizing this will help you to develop more independence financially. And it's going to help all around, because there is someone here I can see that you do deeply care about. But the thing is, we got to understand too that helping people and helping our loved ones, or showing our support with our loved ones, doesn't always have to come from like money, or it doesn't always have to come from burning ourselves out into the ground, right? 5 of Cups energy. That it's like love is love. So it's an energy that can be felt. So in other words, like, we can give someone money, and sure, that energy can be felt in a way, but love itself is a very, like, it could power so much, right? So it's like I feel like this person won't feel like you are abandoning them or anything like that. Like, they know that you are sincere and that you love them. Okay, but it's time for you to step into the Emperor energy here, and enough is enough. And that doesn't mean you have to cut things off or cut people off or anything like that, especially like if you have been doling out money or something like that to a situation, then it's, especially if it's something to do with like children or something along those lines, we can't just like cut off and well, that's what you get, or something like that, because there's there's an accustom here, you know, they're used to a certain thing, but there is a way that we can do it with love. And here's the other thing too, because I do feel like this has something to do with a child also, is by showing empowerment, showing leadership over ourselves in a very positive way, that inspires them to get out of the victim mentality to do things for themselves. All right. In the long run, it's the codependency thing, right? It's like codependency is codependency. But if one of those people in a codependency relationship can show power, strength, confidence, those types of things, well, if this other person is truly codependent, they're going to soak that up too, and then they are going to grow in that direction as well. So we want to lead by example. So that's what I'm seeing here. Is it's definitely time to grab the bull by the horns, metaphorically here, for yourself. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps, you know, put the armor on if you need to, but it's definitely time to show like who you truly are and rise in your natural state of leadership. Aries is known, right, for leadership, right? Rise into that natural form. And it may feel, you know, this person may go through a little bit of like, oh, what happened, you know, kind of thing, but it's like it's going to help them like turn to better things in the long run. Or if this is you, all right, maybe there's no children involved or no anything, you know, or no friends or close connections or something like that. Either way, then this is like your inner child, and this is you rising to the occasion, okay, and showing your inner child, yes, we can do this. So it could be that as well. So there's a clear message overall, and I'm going to pull you one or two advice cards right now, but there's a clear message overall that there's a situation that you are in now that it's like, it doesn't feel fair, but you needed to be in this situation to see a situation that is going to help you to rise into your leadership. Okay. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay. So any final messages for Aries? Oh, it's my cards. They're not in reverse. Okay. I was holding the deck upside down. Okay. Yeah. See, why is this happening? Because you are headed toward a new life. You are waking up and cracking this eggshell, right? And it's not a little baby chick that's coming out of the egg. It's a full grown, you know, woman, adult, power, you know, that sort of thing. You have victory at the bottom of the deck. So that, if you're wondering why you are feeling so bereft of things or so alone or not having the money or the home or the balance in the home or something along those lines, this is why. It's getting you to a new life where you rise as the emperor here. Okay. All right. So let's go to Taurus and let's see what is up with Taurus. Taurus, tell me about Taurus, please. We are doing the clarity spread for Taurus. Decision. Well, perfect. And that's what we're doing this spread for. I love it. Okay. Let's see. This always reminds me of the Chariot. So, which is the sign of Cancer. So some of you, maybe there's that sign involved. And we have the chessboard here. So it's, you know, strategic choices. Strategic choices. All right. So let's see what your tarot cards have to say. All right. What is the message for Taurus, please? In their clarity spread, let's help Taurus out here. See what we can define and help them with here for whatever is on your mind, Taurus. Whatever situation or whatever it is that you are seeking clarity on. Okay. Is that in frame? Yeah, okay. Very similar to Aries, but as far as this part. Okay. Ooh. Okay, let me see here. Taurus, I feel like this spread is the clarity that is really wanting to come across for you. Is the Devil card is an interesting card in this placement for my spread. So it felt at first a little counterintuitive, but now I feel I have the message for you. So I feel like you, Taurus, have been wavering with a strategy, wavering with how to move forward. This could be with a person. Again, this is a general reading, so whatever it is personally that you are seeking clarity about. This could be about a love interest, or about work, or some other situation in your life. So I feel like you have been trying to be strategic with things, trying to break free, move forward, but it just feels like you don't fit into that that little portal opening there. You need that door to be a little bit bigger to move through, right? So I feel like this reading is letting you know that at this time you see yourself more in a kind of like a pawn. Yeah, that makes sense with the chessboard here. You've been seeing yourself as a pawn for too long. This has to end. All right, this has, if you've been going through a period of like everything just destroys in your life, or everything is destructive in your life, or abandonment, nothing working out, those types of things, it's a lot to do with mindset. And I know that gets annoying to hear because it's such a trite answer, but it is the answer here. But it's not just mindset, okay, with you. So it's not just a matter of like flipping your script and thinking positive and whatnot. It's a combination of your true motivations. So by that, it's like I really feel you can bridge this situation and heal this situation by not being the pawn, not seeing yourself as a pawn on a chessboard, but seeing yourself as a collective like unit moving forward. So in other words, when you're playing chess, in a sense, yes, it is one piece that wins the game, but it takes the whole army, if you will, right, to play their role in that game. So in this game of life, you're seeing yourself as a pawn, and you need to see yourself as more of, you are not alone. All right. You're more of a collective movement, all right, towards victory, towards success, towards your breakthrough. See, that little or that person in the chariot, right? It's like they can't fit through that door, but if they take all the pieces to help them, then that door would be bigger and they could go through. All right. So you're seeing yourself as like a pawn. It's time to see yourself not necessarily as a king or queen or anything like that. It's not about the ego confidence side of things. It's about seeing that you are not just a pawn in this like play of the world. All right. You are a very active piece in this world. Everyone has a role, and we all play roles, and pawns are extremely important. So are the knights. So are the, it's like they're all important. So I do feel like if you can change your script, if you will, from thinking that life is so burdensome and that there's no real direction for you to head, and start including others in your vision, then I feel like you will have a massive breakthrough and you won't feel so alone anymore. I feel like some of you are so strong in your aloneness. And yes, that is a noble quality in a sense. Absolutely. But again, it takes more than just one chess piece to win the game. The queen couldn't take, it takes all the other pieces to move them forward. All right. So I feel like there's a little bit too much lone wolf vibe here, and not purposefully. I feel like you have had people in your life or what have you, but they not the type of people that work with you and along with you. So I feel like it's time to sort of manipulate like your own healing, manipulate your own healing by celebrating as if, all right, like fake it till you make it kind of thing, celebrating as if you do have fun ahead in your life. You do have things to look forward to in your life. There will be good friends. There will be good networking people or family members, whatever, good times again in the family, whatever it is that you are watching this for. But the more that you just keep trudging along, feeling like you're the only one carrying the burden, you're the only one that has to move one foot in front of the other and work so hard and all of those things, then that just keeps you in that energy. So there's something about putting down all those sticks and burdens, straightening up the back, and, going out and meeting some people, having some fun, or networking, or doing what it takes in a lighter way. And that will manipulate your own healing, because, again, you see yourself too small or too unimportant. And this isn't about building the ego into some massive, anything like that. And I'm not worried about that anyway. Taurus is usually pretty in check with the ego. So, but, you never know who, other people watch different placements. But there is something about this here for sure that can lead you from confusion. Because I feel like you guys have like just really tried to keep going, and you can't figure out why, like the chess pieces aren't, working, or why nothing's going forward, why you can't get through the door, right? And that sort of thing. And this is why, because there's been too much focus on like what you don't have, and that's because it's legit. You don't have it. And again, just being able to lay down these sticks, these burdens, these passions, these things that really don't have a real sense of direction. A pawn cannot do it on its own, right? It's like, so, and it's like you're more than a pawn when you work with the rest of the board. Okay. Yeah. And that's what will bring you forward momentum. Okay. Yeah. 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, bottom of the deck. So I do feel like there's a sense of needing to, I'm going to get you some advice cards right now, but to sort of add a little bit of magical thinking, basically. Not false hope magical thinking, but not looking at everything as like that you have to work so hard for it. Like somehow changing that script to putting down those sticks and having some fun, in some way. Even if you can't, like, maybe you can't afford to do that, or you don't have friends to go do that with, there's something still about, well, somehow, like, okay, if you can't do that, then imagine it. Then take an hour and just pretend there's a movie going on in your head where you're out having fun, meeting new people, something like that. You got to include like a little bit of magic with this, I feel, all right, to get you out of this like stuckness so that you can start moving forward. So your lesson is definitely about looking for others that can be positive influences for you. So don't keep mixing with people who are negative, down and out. Like they always say, like I forget who it is that wrote one of those famous books about, I don't know if it was Dale Carnegie or some one of those guys. I can't remember, but they set out to hang out with successful rich people, right? So that they could emulate and sort of be around that energy. And well, it worked because, I don't know if it was Dale Carnegie. It was one of those guys. And I mean, they ended up, making a fortune and all that just by being around other people that were like that. So I'm not just talking about money here or anything like that, but, a fortune can be good emotions. It can be good friends. It can be better family situations, right? So it's like we want to choose to hang out with the ones that will lift us up, not to continue to perpetuate that we're down and out and everything sucks. Okay. All right. So, oh, wow. Okay. So this card, oh, two cards just fell out. Yep. Angel of Balance and Abundance showing up here. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, definitely. Yeah. And it's the Hunter moon. I feel like you guys need to be more proactive in not just martyring everything through and doing everything for everyone else and all that sort of thing. It's time for you to get a little more clever, a little bit more manipulative, not in negativity. All right, when I say manipulative, I'm not saying be a jerk and manipulate people and climb over everybody or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But for your own mind, you can't be a doormat either. All right, so it's like there's something, Hunter moon, abundance, right? She's clever. She has a fox. So it's time to get more clever with yourself. All right, not by using others or anything like that. Of course not. But by like allowing, like sometimes we need to hunt for food, right? Otherwise we will starve. So you can't just like sit there and be a pacifist and not, we're going to have to kill a plant or kill a berry tree or kill an animal or whatever to eat, right? So we can, if we don't, we starve. So at some point we do have to be a little bit of a huntress or hunter. Okay. And that is the, angel of balance here talking with you. Okay. That it doesn't mean that you're a terrible devil card kind of person if you go after certain things. Okay. And get out and meet with some people too. Okay. That's what I have for you, Taurus. Okay, Gemini, please. Tell me about Geminis. What is the clarity message for Gemini, please? So whatever is on your mind, Gemini, be it love, be it work, family situation, life situation. Let's get you some clarity here for our Geminis, please. Okay. So we have criticism card, and then we have Virgo showing up. Okay. Okay. So not pointing fingers, okay, at things. Try to see things blossoming rather than pointing fingers at what's wrong with a person or a situation or the world at large. It's like, instead of pointing fingers and criticizing that, it's like, do your best instead to see the bounty and the beauty of things. All right. Because if we're looking for criticism or we're looking to point out things wrong, we're going to find them all day long, right? It's selective bias. It's the way that works. So, but instead, if we change our vision to start looking and spotting beauty and florals and beautiful scents and colors and aesthetic, beautiful aesthetic to fill our eyes with, and that's what we're going to see more of. Okay, so let's see what we get here for you, Gemini. Oh, hold on. I got a card left from the other reading. I just saw it in here. There we go. Hold on. That was the one we just did. Whoops. All right. I think that was the only one. Yep. Okay. All right. So tell me about Geminis, please. Tell me about Geminis. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Queen of Swords. Wow. Yeah, this is a pretty clear message for sure already. All right. Um, hmm Wow. Okay. All right. So this is a clear message of exactly what this card just summed it all up. So basically, I don't need to spend too long on the specifics of this because that's exactly what this reading is about. So it's like the Queen of Swords can be very blunt, sharp. She has a clear head, and doesn't mean any doesn't mean to be critical or this or that or what have you, but it's because she's so rational, or she does have such a clear head that she can easily point out things that, oh, I just heard that. Okay, so for some of you, let me just say this real quick so I don't forget it. There's something that Spirit just came through to tell you, that you are very good at pinpointing like problems in business and in businesses. So it's like that's something like you could really move up as a skill. All right. So I just heard that. So like finding mistakes, finding where the money went, finding where, or didn't go to the right places or something like that, or just basic problem solving within businesses and corporations. You have a talent and a skill for that. Okay, so that's just one message that I just heard. I wanted to get out there so I didn't forget it later. Okay, so back to the reading. I mean, with criticism showing up here as the main theme and the Queen of Swords coming out as far as representing where you are right now, yeah, she can be a little harsh and like a little bit too judgmental. I don't think it comes from a bad place. Okay, I feel like many of you, maybe you have a lot of Virgo in your chart, or you could have been raised by a Virgo or something along, or someone with heavy Virgo in their chart. So I feel like it's something that you have good intentions with, but it's like ultimately though, it may not come across that way. So even though you do have a very, very clear head, I feel like that's why that business message came out. It's better to put that clear head and rational kind of criticism to work in business rather than towards others, and as far as relationships, friends, co-workers, things like that. So it's like, yes, this is not a fault. It's a beautiful attribute to have to your personality for sure, but it does need to be like it's displaced possibly through things. So, and it may be directed specifically even towards like a husband or a masculine in your life. So instead of coming out in the right resources, again, like the directed resources where they actually can do some valuable good, which would be like, again, like a business, a corporation, pointing out things that need to be rationally seen that others just don't see, that kind of thing, rather than coming out in your personal life. Okay, so there's that message. Yeah, and because the eight of wands here, I feel like this is like the need to possibly over text, over communicate, over give information. So like in other words, if it's a husband or a boyfriend or a family member or a coworker or something like that, and they do ask you for advice because you are a queen of swords type, it's like not to like give them every single step of the way, right? So in other words, if like the husband texts you and says, "Hey, where's the light bulbs? I can't find them." Right? Instead, most people would just say, "Oh, well, they're somewhere in the kitchen cabinet." Right? That's what most people would say. But you may feel compelled to say, "Well, they are, located in the, left quadrant of the fourth drawer in the blah blah." You know what I'm saying? It's sometimes just simplicity is your friend. because it's like you have all this great information that needs to be channeled to business or to something that can, where it is useful. All right. Not in your day-to-day activities with others. All right. That is your biggest message here. Okay. So you do have the Star card, which is a beautiful card. So I do feel like you will move towards balancing this more. Also, it's like, I would say a little bit more spiritual energy, letting that in. Some of you may be too rational to, like, obviously, if you're watching a tarot reading, you do believe in some sort of, spiritual realm, but this is like really diving in a little bit more to allowing the divine healing source to be in partnership with you too. Not everything has to be like a rational explanation. Let the divine partnership of yourself come in as well. The thing is, with the Five of Cups here, I feel like you guys are highly emotional people who turned to the rational because the emotional hurts too much. And there's a negation of truly connecting with love. Everything's too rational. So I feel like it's time to get excited again in your life about truly connecting on an emotional and metaphysical level, and not negating the rational side of yourself, but blending it and accepting it and channeling it in the right area, and not to everyone else, like we talked about. Okay, so that's what I see. I'm going to get a couple oracle cards for you, because you have really beautiful energy that is being like evaporated and wasted, like in not focusing it and harnessing it in the right direction. Okay. All right. So let's see. What other messages do we have for Geminis? Any advice cards here for Gemini, please? Wow. Yeah, you guys have such power. Yeah, positivity, faith, and optimism. I see that as being something that you definitely need. Because I feel like many of you're very emotional. You may have like water signs rising or something along those lines, or a moon sign in water. And it's like you just don't want to be disappointed again when you're it's really interesting. You have an extreme of emotional and you have an extreme of rational. It is time to blend those into your power. All right. And here is the missing ingredient: the divine side of things, the metaphysical side of things, the cosmic healing that can occur, and blend these two energies together. Because I feel like you have so much to offer, but it's coming through in it just evaporates because it's not being directed at the right like situations, is what I see. So with positivity, faith, and optimism, that is your friend. So being in your power, melding both of these traits. But look at that big moon. It's like a high priestess, right? That's like that spiritual, intuitive, feminine side of energy coming through. And it says, you open the doorway to positive experiences and opportunities with your positive expectations and energy. Do not allow negative energy or temporary setbacks to interfere with the path that you are on. Keep the faith and keep going. Beautiful. All right, Geminis, that's what I have for you. Let's move to Cancers. All right, what do we have for Cancers, please? clarity reading for our beautiful Cancer friends. So remember, Cancer, this is a general reading. So whatever it is you are seeking clarity with. So I will not give specifics as far as romantic love or work, or if it's a family situation or what have you. I trust that you can, each person that is watching this Cancer segment can discern that, right, on their own. So whatever it is that you are seeking clarity on, Cancers, that's what I am aiming to assist with at this time. Okay, so we have abundance, okay, coming out right away. Well, not right away. It took a minute, but the way it came out was with a snap. Okay, abundance. So abundance, even though it shows like kind of coins, the icons on here, abundance can mean many things. Abundance of love, abundance of, safety, abundance in money, whatever, abundance in joy, all those things. So let's see what your cards have to say. Okay, tell me, what is the message for Cancer, please? So we have a theme of abundance coming out here. Oh, hello, Two of Cups. Wow, your card. Okay. Oh my gosh, and I took a peek to see what's next. I'm always so curious. I don't know why. It's such a weird habit us tarot readers have. It's like we have enough cards on here, but we just can't help it. Like look at the bottom of the deck, or look at the next cards. It's so funny. Okay. I tried to curtail myself from doing that at one point, like a couple of years ago, and then I was like, eh. Curiosity, it's I'm not conquering it. Okay, so your card coming out, I'm glad I looked. I like that, and with the sun right after it. In fact, let's go ahead and take that as well. I feel with this message is trying to give you clarity as far as how to build from sturdy ground so that you can reach the abundance you are looking for. So again, whether that be in a romantic love situation or a work situation or life in general. Okay. So with the Tower card showing here, sort of as your bridge card, I feel like you are starting to connect with what you want to do, whether again that be a person or a situation. However, doing it for the pure optimism is going to be your winning ticket. So by that, so for instance, I'm going to take a couple examples here. So we're going to do love and we're going to do work in that way. And again, it may be some other kind of situation for you. But for instance, if it were love, in other words, definitely feeling like you want an abundant love connection. Maybe you've even met someone who feels like they could fit that role, right? And you theirs. However, this is strongly urging that it truly recognize that it is from love and not from just purely recognition. So by that, cancers aren't typically, well, they are a little bit, but and I don't mean that in a mean way or anything. I have Cancer rising, so it's, if I throw any shade, it's shade on it, myself as well. But it's like there can be a need for recognition, and so we want to make sure if we're moving towards a love connection that it's not just purely for the sake of recognition or status, or on a different psychological level, that it's not just from being needed, because that can be a recognition cry as well. So that in other words, that anything that you move toward truly comes from a sturdy foundation of optimism, love, positivity. That it not come from a deeper need of needing to feel needed or needing to feel recognition or status, like, oh look, I found someone, or I found this trophy person, or something along those lines. All right. Or now on the same token, same regards, if it is work related, same thing, right? Where it's like, okay, you may be moving towards what you love, but that's not enough. I mean, it is in a sense, but if you want to see abundance from what you do, then it's going to take realizing that the foundation of where you're moving toward abundance is not solely based on your confidence. Confidence is definitely a lot to do with things, for sure, but it can't be based on just recognition alone, or desiring recognition, or moving forward solely in confidence. There needs to be more emphasis on a thought out plan, because the Tower card is a card of something that's not built on a solid foundation will eventually like burn to the ground, right? So crash and burn and that sort of thing. The Knight of Pentacles is very much about the architect of life, right? The looking out onto the land and really visualizing what you aim to build. What type of foundation is this Knight of Pentacles on that land out there? Where are they going to start with the foundation? Where are they going to plot that piece of land? Where are they going to mark it off? Where are they going to lay the boards to start building a solid home, and eventually a city, or a fortress, whatever? It's like it needs to come from like an architect plan first, and envisioning what you are going to build. So definitely, in other words, just love of what you like to do alone and confidence are not the only ingredients. Your missing ingredient is this: building that foundation, seeing that foundation. How are you laying out the plans to build your foundation? All right. So there's that. I also feel too, I was looking, because I was going to pull one of these cards here, and I saw immediately at the bottom of the deck before I went to pull the cards, I see this eccentricity card. So, because I wanted to clarify the Page of Swords. And it's really interesting because our theme here is abundance. And this card, we see fish themes here. Even that it's an Aquarius card, Saturn in Aquarius, but fish, right, represent abundance in symbolism, things of that nature. And as soon as I saw this card, there's a song by Zion. There's a few people named Zion though. He's like a rap dude. He was in that band Dead Prez. I don't know, pretty obscure. I don't know if most of you know him, but anyway, there was a song of his where he did solo called Trippin', like Trippin', right? And I remember this line from the song, and it says something about like crazy lady shouting curses at the sky. And that's exactly what this reminds me of, because it's like This fish is stripped. It's like just like the bones, basically, right? And it's like you have the tail, but the head and the wings or gills or whatever, flying things, whatever this fish has here, are still intact, but the tail is stripped, but you have the tail end. So I feel like this is the missing piece, like that you guys need, is to like honor and be loyal to your eccentricities and who you are. I feel like that is a main challenge in your life with Saturn here, because Aquarius is like the eccentric sign. It is the offbeat thinking, the one who marches to a different beat of the drum, but that is needed as a whole in collective society. So I feel like you play a very special role, Cancer, in like you're a student of this, though. It's like you're not a master necessarily of this. And please, again, it's a general reading. If you're a master, you're a master. Awesome. Okay, so this is not like a criticism or like a put down or anything like that whatsoever. In fact, this is an honor. All right, to be a student of such things, because not only, yes, it's a difficult road, but it's a very important role to play on this earth. And it's like you are very eccentric in your thinking and in your loyalties. So I do feel like this is more of, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And that possible recognition that you seek is not what it's about. All right. What it's about is playing your role with absolute conviction that you are here to bring eccentric ideas to others. All right, so that can be in your love relationship, that can be in your work, your family, what have you. It probably plays out in all of those, would be my guess. The thing is, though, that I feel like as far as abundance, where I was going with that shouting curses to the sky song, and it's called Trippin' again. If I can find it anywhere on YouTube, I'll link it in the comments. I don't know. It's a bit of an obscure song. So anyway, I feel like some of you are extremely loyal. And it's like, the thing is, you have something by the tail. You have your abundance by the tail. But it's a matter of bridging water and earth in order to create your abundance. So that's metaphysically. So what that would mean tangibly, like on this earth plane, would mean to use your emotional passion to create a plan and visualize a plan. And that is ultimately what is going to drive you forward into a lot of happiness and optimism and whatever abundance means to you. So I would say if it's love that you're looking for, abundance and love, then this is a matter of not seeking someone because you want to feel like, well, if somebody pays attention to me, that means I'm worthy. Instead, it's like, look for someone that has the same plan and ideals as you that you can build a foundation together with, right? If it's work, same thing. All right, it's not about like the recognition, because I feel, again, your role here is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And that recognition that you seek may be very difficult to come by. You will receive it, but you will receive it in more from like spirit's acknowledgement here. All right, with the Hermit showing up. And so to recognize that and to not give in to trying to be like everyone else. You are an eccentric role on this planet, and you are an intrinsic role on this planet. It reminds me a little bit of the Aries read in a way. So if you have Aries strong in your chart, you may want to check that reading as well. But yeah, this is about doing things differently and not losing yourself in the needing to gain by recognition. Like that will not probably be where your gain is. Your gain is where you stay true to yourself, do what you love, or be with who you truly love, that you can build a real foundation with. That is going to propel you forward towards the clarity that you have been seeking to move forward. Okay, so with that, let's get a couple oracle cards here for you, Cancers. Tell me about Cancer, please. What other energy advice cards do they need at this time for their clarity? Aha. Making friends with thyself. The unexpected. I love it. Okay. All right. Moving away from... Okay, this is what's been stuck. Yeah, chaos and conflict. Oh, this is exactly what we were talking about. Because this card, it's a zebra underneath, but it's like painted like a giraffe, right? But it's not a giraffe. It's a zebra. It's black and white. Okay, so it's like trying to like paint yourself as something different will cause chaos and conflict. But being true, your read, and it's a master number 33. Your reading is so clearly summed up in be true to thyself. Right? That phrase is your phrase. Be true to thine self, or thine, whatever that phrase is. I don't know if it's a biblical or a Shakespeare phrase or whatever, but something like to oneself, be thine true, or something along those lines is yours for sure. You have the Ascended Masters, deserving. Wow. It's like the Ascended Masters. Again, that's where you're going to get your recognition from. All right. They see that you are deserving. But what's causing the dark thoughts and the maze and the feeling like everything you just run up against is a brick wall, either in relationships or in your life or your work or what have you, is because it's like looking for the recognition from like people. And again, I don't mean this in an egoic way. I want to make that very clear. This is, I don't see it as ego. Like, oh, I want people to love me. You know, I don't see it as that. Okay. But I do see it as a deeper psychological thing of needing that recognition and approval to define your value and worth. And Spirit is saying, no. You need to know you are your worth, and your value is that you are not like everyone else. So that's why like you're not getting all of the accolades and whatnot, because most people are of like the same kind of sheep mindset or whatever. That so it reminds me of like TikTok, for instance, right? Like someone might be like really big, or even here, right? Really big on TikTok and get all that recognition. You could be doing the very same thing, looking for those views and those things, right? But it's like it's not happening because it's like this one like plays that game. You don't play that game. Accept that. It's okay. Your recognition is coming from the Ascended Masters. All right. It's not coming from the sheep, you know, that will follow like the same thing over and over. Your recognition comes from a higher source. All right. And I don't want to toot your horn too big either. Again, we got to be careful here, right? But the thing, because it is student level, it's not master level, right? So I don't want to, make it too egoic for you either in that way, like, oh, you're just above everyone else. I don't mean it like that either. But it's like your role is just different than everyone's else. So instead of keep looking for that validation from your peers or your coworkers or your job or your relationships or something like that, instead know that you have a unique role. Do not let this put you into dark thoughts and feel like you just keep running into walls. It's like, instead, accept this honor, show gratitude that you are playing this exciting role and unique role, and that is what's going to really help and define you on a different level. It's not a TikTok level. It's a if TikTok is in the spiritual heavens above, you are doing well. You have followers. Okay, let's put it that way. All right. Okay, so that's what I have for Cancers. Okay, Leo, please. What do I have for you, Leo? Clarity reading for Leo, please. Whatever is on Leo's mind, be it love, work, family, any other type of life situation. What information can we give for those watching Leo? Loss. Okay, Saturn and Pisces. And then you have discovery at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So this is the main theme. So this is not a prediction reading. Okay, I want to make that clear. So this is not predicting, oh, you're going to lose something, or, oh, there's going to be a breakup or anything like that. This is, I'm looking at this card as your overall theme so that I can get to the clarity of what needs to be going on. So some of you may be feeling lost. There could be, we do have a home here. We do have a couple here. So this could be like, a relationship with a couple here in the corner, or it could be something about loss of a place of where you live, or this could represent even maybe an institution or where you work or something like that. Okay, so it is a 12, which reminds me of the Hanged Man, which is about seeing things from different perspectives. Okay, so let's see, because Pisces is very much like an illusion, type planet, or not planet, sign, because it's tied into Neptune, it's tied into the moon, both of which can cause like delusive energy, delusions, illusions, things of that nature. All right, and with Saturn there, Saturn can be that heavy taskmaster, heavy-handed type of energy, making something appear as a loss, but maybe in disguise, it's an illusion. So let's see, though. Let's see what kind of clarity that we can get for you. All right, so tell me about Leo, please. Leo. What is the message for Leos? Ooh, yeah, heavy energy showing up for you. The Judgment card here. Interesting. So that, oh, wow. Two sides of a coin. Interesting. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. The moon underneath the deck. So that like Piscean energy. Okay, so some of you have an inheritance coming, and that is a prediction. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so with this Lost card, I feel like you guys feel like there's others above you. They're all living life in their large houses. They have a partner, everything's connected and flourishing and all that. And then here's you like kind of at the bottom, right? Having to peck away at like I hate to be like icky, but like, carcasses to find something, right? So it's a pretty heavy analogy going on here. So this reminds me of your polarity Scorpio. All right, because it's kind of like the death card, and it's kind of like the death card, right? Or scorpionic energy of Pluto here, resurrecting kind of thing. So it's like, but you guys are Leo, right? So sometimes though that polarity Scorpio energy will come in, but never forget that you are Leo, you are sun, you are, because think of like the death card, right? Even has like a little bit of sun. The Ten of Swords has a little bit of sun that's coming out after endings. So it's like, it's important to realize like that you can always like rebirth yourself, Because just like the sun each night kind of dies, right? Or, goes to sleep or whatever, but each morning it rises and it shines and everything grows under the sun. So it's time to come up from like the underbelly, the underground, mentally, especially. I feel like yours is very mental. Like it's tied into like how you are viewing certain things. Okay. Um, because the Eight of Swords, with the Seven of Swords here too, but underneath, waiting to come out, is the clarity. The clarity, the clarity. You have a lot with that moon underneath the deck. We talked about the moon with the Pisces energy. There's a lot that is heavy and going on beneath the surface with you. And it's karmic, but it's very much tied into, again, like your mental, like how you are evaluating things in that way, what you are giving precedence to, what you are giving attention to, and that sort of thing. Yeah, with the Eight of Swords, I feel like you had to go through the struggle in order to release a deep, 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 heavy regret and loss. So I don't know if it's this life, if it's been this life, or if it's last life, or like it's a recent past life. Okay, it's not something from like, a bazillion past lifetimes ago that's been following you forever. This feels like it's either like within the last couple lives, or it's something that's happened this life that was so heavy and like haunting, and you possibly didn't even realize that's what sort of trapped you in a way, froze you. Like when you're scared, like a child, when you're a child and you're scared and like there's a monster in your room or something and you just freeze and you don't even want to move like a thumb or a foot or anything, because it'll give away where you are. It's like, I feel like you've been like sort of in that energy metaphorically, and that there's been a reason for that though, because there's being in that energy gave you extreme life skills that allow you to navigate such depth and darkness and bring light. All right. Because again, you're Leo, but that's the thing. I feel like you're not realizing that yet. So you're still sort of in that heaviness and not seeing that it's like you will bring a lot of positivity to something. I also feel like many of you need to speak about your experiences. You need to talk about your experiences. You have a lot that you have gleaned and garnered from this experience, and it's time to not tiptoe around that, but show it. You can do that via just talking with a friend, talking with this person. Maybe it's a love relationship, talking with a family member, talking this, even if it's not a reconciliation purpose. It's like there is something here about you clearing the air and overcoming this pattern of not seeing such heaviness here. Something was very heavy, heavy, heavy. And it's like, oh my gosh. And you're almost out of the woods with it. Okay. But it's a matter of not trying to ignore it and just keep throwing yourself into things or keep yourself busy, but to face it, talk about it, clear the air with it in a very perfunctory way, in a very deliberate way. And that is what will help you like have that mental clarity and victory. And that's true. Sometimes when we just say something aloud, you ever notice that when something's like really heavy and bothering you and it's just so, and we hold it in and we hold it in, we hold it in, but if we get the opportunity and like we just vent a little bit, or we just state what's going on to someone else somehow, like it doesn't solve the problem or anything like that. Sometimes, I mean, it can, but it just it's a relief. It's just a relief in some way. Well, in your way, yes, I feel like that can happen very much, but I also feel it is a solve to, like, a resolve to your problem. But just ignoring it and trying to just keep working on things, throwing yourself into things to forget about this or that or the other, that's not working. It's keeping you trapped, actually, by not acknowledging this heavy situation. You can't just block it out and pretend it didn't exist. It existed, kind of thing. Okay. So let's get, I'm going to get you a couple oracle cards here to see if there's anything else that wants to be said. Okay, anything else for Leo, please? So that's stuck. Yeah. Oh, and it is in reverse because my deck is not. Okay, so yeah, yin and yang in the reverse. Okay, so it's like needing to bring in those elements of balance for yourself, masculine, feminine, so action and reception, things like that, receiving answers from source, and then taking those answers and doing something with them. Some of you, even too, I'm getting like podcast, or like you may have something, truly to say, so it may not just be to like one person that you need to have this discussion with. It could be on many levels, all right, or larger levels as well. Yeah, look at that. Like, what a relief and a release this will be. Look at that body language and that cosmic orbit. I love it. Okay, so let's see. What do we have here? The unexpected, change, the garden and the gate, and angel of love. Oh my gosh, I love it. Because this is not a love deck. So that's a unique card to this particular oracle deck. That there is like an angel of love that is looking out for you, looking over you, helping you. Yeah, the garden and the gate is very much like an Eight of Cups vibe to me, of like needing to leave that comfort zone. There's this clinging on this person. It's hard to see in this card. It's not very super. It's funny too, because I use different oracle cards and they both have like this pink garment on, right? So anyway, it's like holding and clinging onto this planet, right? And even though there's all this activity like trying to pull them away from this situation, instead of just sort of giving into this like storm of pain and whatever it has been, sometimes we just need to like go with that and trust that we are going to come out okay, right? And because the garden and the gate is very much about staying in that comfort zone and afraid to go out there into the new beginnings, or to communicate with others, with it being a 3 or anything like that. So yeah, this is very much about making friends with a situation, making friends with yourself, and coming out of this grayness and this darkness and entering new like portals, if you will, right? And this angel of love is helping you to do that, and to see like there is, to believe in love again, to believe in, and that means in all ways. Okay. So basically the clarity right now is to get extremely clear, and you may need to actually verbally communicate these things, not bury yourself in things and keep your head down and just keep working out a way. It's like clearly start stating what needs to be said here. Okay. All right. So that is Leo. Okay, Virgo. All right, so we are seeking answers for clarity for you, Virgo, in whatever situation may come up. So we have love right away. We do have sadness at the bottom of the deck. Oh, that card, I don't know what it is about that. It's so cute, but I mean, it's sadness, but it's something about that card though. It's just it just makes me want to hug it. Okay, so you have love, all right, showing up right away. Okay, so what I was about to say before that card wanted to just come out and say love was, oh my gosh, and look where I'm cutting the deck. Yeah, some of you guys have been blocking or like keeping things at arm's length, being very guarded, and that will bring sadness. You know, I mean, if love is offered, then that means we deserve it, you know, so we don't want to like keep that at arm's length. Okay, so anyway, all right, so I was starting to say this reading can be about anything. Okay, about like any subject matter, love, work, life in general, whatever it is that you are seeking clarity about. That is what we are working on to get to you. All right, as a helpful and insightful reading for Virgos, please. What do Virgos need help in seeing and gleaning insight on with whatever they are struggling with or just thinking about or trying to decide about? Okay, all right, yeah, give me a moment here. And then bottom of the deck, Two of Pentacles. So I feel like you guys here, you're in a pretty good position of really connecting with someone or connecting more with others. So this could be on a social level, this could be on a dating level, something along those lines. So I do feel like you are on the right track with that type of energy. The thing is, I do feel also to continue any process of like reinventing yourself, because the Death card is about letting the old things shed and then moving towards new, right? Like new rebirths. And you have the confidence card here of the Six of Wands. So it's a healthy confidence, okay? It's holding yourself up high, but it's true confidence. Okay, so because the thing is, I feel like some of you, especially like with love in particular, like some of you have just sort of given up or like accepted, like, well, I guess I'm supposed to be alone, you know, or something along those lines. Like deeper in your subconscious, even though like some of you may have like sort of had a recent kind of rebirth in reconnecting with others or dating or something like that, there's still a little bit of a subconscious energy here though that is lingering of, well, this is just my lot in life or something like that, and it's just simply not true. All right. Yeah, Two of Wands and choices. There's a lot here about choices. Oh my God, yeah. Oh my God, left. Totally. Oh, wow. So yeah, because the next card after the World card, choices, Two of Wands. And we have this like indecision. Then we have choices again with the Lover's card. I look at the bottom of the deck, Two of Pentacles, and two, all right? And look, choices about how you see. Oh my God, another every single two is like lingering around your deck. Oh my God. This is, oh wow. Okay, so yeah, Virgo, this is all about the decisions and choices, but not getting stuck in them. All right, what you do not see is that there is absolutely healing, beautiful, It could be soulmate or whatever it is you're interested in, whatever this love card is about. Again, it could be about healing something with work or with family or any type of life situation, right? You have the Star and the Wheel of Fortune. All right, it's your destiny to heal. It's your destiny to have what you truly love. However, it's this indecision and this like just flat out acceptance of, well, I guess this is just it, that is holding you back. And it may have something to do with a person, because we do have this like masculine here, Two of Wands. They're indecisive too, because if we're indecisive, we're going to attract indecisive people. All right, people who do not know what they want. People who maybe they have somebody else and they have to choose between you or them, or we're going to attract that sort of thing when we are in that energy, because like begets like. So okay, so basically let's hammer this down here right now, because it's been a pattern, and there's a strong message here, like, do not give up on love or what you love. Okay. But it is going to require more than just getting the outward on board. Definitely need to get the inner you on board. Okay, so you're making the right strides and progress here by getting out, making connections, or dating, or wanting to reinvent yourself, right? With confidence. Any and all of those are good. But that is your outer intention. Your inner intention needs to match, okay? And that's where the pattern is. And that is where your victory lies here, is getting your emotional self on board, your deeper subconscious on board. So I would suggest, I'm not a fan typically, so for me to suggest this is pretty odd, because I'm really not a fan of subliminal messages like at sleep time or something like that, because honestly, you never know. You're just listening to these things blindly on YouTube, and who knows where those things are coming from, right? They could be, saying like, yes, you are beautiful, or you are this, or life is great, and all those things. But then underneath, maybe they're, putting in some other kind of weird shit. You never know with those things. So I'm very skeptical of that type of stuff. So what I would suggest for you, Virgo, there is an app. I don't know the name of it, but you can just Google. I'm sure there's others where you can record your own voice and loop it. And what I would do is seriously take the time to calmly create some affirmations for yourself, to your subconscious self. Okay? Not to your outer intentional self. I feel like you are doing a great job there, but to your inner self. Okay? So create some really strong, beautiful, wise, calming affirmations, maybe about, space them, say one, then give it count about maybe 4 seconds to 10 seconds, say another one, create like at least 5 of them, and then you can loop it and listen to that, before you go to sleep or whenever you have a calm moment. Okay, because that way it's your own voice talking to you. When you do the recordings, do it in the intention of like that you are your loving guardian angel giving you this advice. Okay, so I know it sounds a little trippy, but I would do something like that, because your inner self needs to get on board here, is what I'm seeing. Because we can't tiptoe around the fact that the emotional self isn't on board with these new changes. So definitely work on the inner emotional body, the inner emotional body, not your logical body or your mindset thinking. I feel like that is fine and working well. It's your emotional self that needs to allow these choices to stop being choices, and just move toward one choice. And what is that one choice? Love. It's always love. When we move toward love, we're doing things correctly, for lack of a better term, right? When we are moving towards, it's either we're moving toward love or we're moving with fear, because of fear. So whenever we make choices in our life, it is based on either love or fear. And almost all of us, right, tend, unfortunately, to choose out of fear. We make choices because we're afraid we won't find something better, or we won't, get a better job, or we won't get a better partner, or we won't have a better circumstance, or we won't find a better home than this one, so we better snap this one up. We make choices out of fear. That's not out of love. So I feel like those are the types of things that are needed for you right now. There's way too much indecisiveness, and then thus you're attracting indecisive people around you and into your life, basically. So outwardly, you're doing great, and yes, definitely reinventing yourself here in confidence and all of those great things. But it's like definitely needing to really dive into that emotional you as well. Okay, because there's a lot of power there with the Queen of Cups, a lot of emotional power that can be used in a very beneficial, healing way, if allowed to come out. Okay, all right. So let's get a couple oracle cards for you. I also feel that any clarity things that you want to deliver at this time should be done in a very clever way, not in an out and out blunt way. All right. So in other words, it's more like planting seeds rather than bluntly saying something at this time. Okay. Adjacent possibilities. Oh, I like that card. All right. Okay. What else? What else for Virgo? Okay. Virgo, please. Yeah, sovereignty. Love it. Okay. And focus. Okay. So let me see what we have here. So adjacent possibilities is a very interesting card because there's all these doors that are open. They're all open, but they're all in weird places that you would not expect. So most everyone wants to just head down that trajectory to the open door at the end of the hallway, right? That's the normal path to take. It makes sense. But look, there's all these other open doors that are all around you that all have light streaming from them. So, there could be all kinds of different doorways to go through. All right. It doesn't have to just be this way. All right. So let's see what other cards you have here. So you do have broken heart. Okay. Appreciation. Oh, interesting. Realization and this deceit, and it's led you to your sovereignty. Ooh, intriguing. Okay. So let me see here. Yeah, and that could be why you've given up on something or someone, or love in general, because it's like it took you a long time to recover from a broken heart. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like that still is kind of lingering in that emotional field there. And it's like, but the thing is, you're going to become sovereign from this situation. And we'll talk about that. All right. So it's like something has happened where, because of a broken heart, you had to sort of adapt and build your self-esteem back up. So you may have been involved with like a narcissist type or a very controlling type or something along those lines. So it took you a while, and so that's why it's easier to, not easier necessarily, this may have even taken a while, but it's easier to work on that outward confidence and rebuilding that than it is to actually take that deep dive again, because this really, something really broke your heart here and was very difficult for you to build your confidence back with. But that's the thing, is you are realizing that you are your own key. And this is, attracting like deceitful people around you has, that's why it's been tricky for you, why you have to walk a fine line with things. But it's possibly because you know, again, like begets like. So in some way you were possibly being deceitful with yourself about what you truly want or what you truly love or what door you really do want to head into. And so again, you know, when energy is a strange thing, but it stays pretty true in the fact that whatever energy, again, like begets like. So you may be attracting deceitful people, not because you are a liar or a thief or this or that, or, you know, have a third party or something like that. That's not the like beget like part, but the like beget like part is you attracting deceitful people because you are somehow like deceiving yourself. So again, I feel like there's this emotional mending that needs to happen rather than just portraying this outward confidence. And once you do that and realize that you are the one who stands at the doorway, you don't need a key. There's nothing magical you need from something. You don't need a magical key. It's like you have the key to open any of these doors. They're already open, right? It's like, look at that gigantic keyhole. She doesn't need a key to walk through that. She just needs to walk through and realize like your own power and your sovereignty. Like you have the ability to be independent of this broken heart and pain, and that it can't just be resolved by just mending your confidence, but that you have to like mend that emotional part of you as well. And that's where you stand in true power. And then you are truly in control and free from the things that have held you back. Okay, that's what I am seeing the most for you, Virgo. All right, now we're on to Libra. What we are getting a message for Libras, please, to help them with clarity, whatever it is you are thinking about at this time, Libra. So it could be a love situation, a work situation, family situation, or just general situation, whatever you are seeking clarity on. And we are going to do our best here to glean some strong answers from source here for you, Libras. Okay. So we have, oh, the Wheel of Fortune energy. All right. Or just changing your fortune and like changing your luck is what I'm getting. So some of you are hoping to change your luck or feeling like it's time to, you may have had like a lot of things that haven't been going your way or something like that. And now it's either starting to turn in your favor, all right, or you are wondering when is this going to happen for me? Okay. So like, how do I turn the wheel? How do I get fortune to smile on me, or, you know, something along those lines? Or how do I get unstuck? Because again, it reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so let's see. What do we have for Libra, please? Libra. Woo! Okay, star card. Intriguing. Okay, so let me take a look here. Okay, so yeah, if like the wheel hasn't turned for you lately, or if smile, you know, if fortune has not smiled on you lately, or anything along those lines, I feel like there was something to face, to heal, to build your inner strength more, to focus more on your individual healing, your individual strength. To turn inward more. The thing is, though, I feel like some of you are resisting that. Okay. So trying to continue in a way that you've always continued, but spirit, if spirit's hammering you right now with things, it's because they're trying to show you that it, like, just trying to ignore these changes is not the answer. All right. They're really trying to show you to develop your inner strength. I feel like some of you have really worked on developing your material strength, or your individuality and confidence of who you are in life, or something like that, or your money. I'm not sure. It could be different for each of you. And that is a beautiful thing, absolutely. However, I feel like the reason, if things are not very strong for you right now, they will be, by the way, but if they are not very strong for you right now, and it feels like you're just getting hammered with things, it's all things, I bet you anything, that are testing your inner spiritual connections. So, in other words, it's not like physical labor. That's like, you're not being hammered with physical labor or physical this, or things like that. It's more like your inner connection with spirit, and it feels like a bit of a spiritual test in a way. I feel like also too that you are also being asked to change your ways a little bit as far as spending. So this is a practical message I'm getting here as well. Some of you are possibly, and the thing is, it's not because it's going away or anything like that. There will be more, but the thing is, it's like spirit again wanting to show you to that it's not like, oh, everything's fine and everything's going to be great, and oh, I'll just go buy this luxury purchase or something like that anymore. So it's not about tightening the belt necessarily, but realizing that it's like, if you want to, like, have a more of a future, to save back. So like, kind of like a pay yourself first kind of thing, but not in a not in a extravagant way. So pay yourself first, create some kind of savings here, and not just luxury items, like some kind of like practical, actual savings, or CDs, or some kind of investment or something along those lines. All right. And again, it's not because it's all going away, or there's no fear here. In fact, this is going to heal you, is what I am seeing. There's something here about what you may be going through is because there was too much maybe emphasis before on like luxury purchases, or well, I'm gonna, sometimes there's that teaching of acting as if you have something, right? So, which is like a manifestation technique, but that can be a little dangerous too if you're not utilizing all the principles. So what I mean by that is, some of those manifestors, they teach to like act as if, like, in other words, if you want to buy that expensive thing, buy it. Act as if you are rich, and it's like, because when you get into that energy, then more money will come, or something like that. Well, yeah, yes, but not if you're not really spiritually connected with manifesting and all that kind of stuff. So what I mean by that is that some of you may have been in sort of that energy of acting as if, in a way, and Spirit is saying, yeah, you definitely, but it's like you also have to save for your future or save for a rainy day. So I see a strong message here also like about money and tangibles, okay? Saying, and it's not a fear thing like, oh, you better save money because you're not going to have any. That's not what it's saying. It's saying to start saving for your future because it's like a responsible part of your spiritual healing. Okay, so I do see that. All right. Um, Others of you clearly, like you may be receiving some sort of blessing, financial blessing, something along those lines also, because you have uh, demonstrated some sort of spiritual test or something along those lines, started making the right choices. And it's like, I do feel like you will have more like good luck, finances, things like that coming your way. And it's important, though, again, to heed that energy of not just, oh, great, I guess I'm set now, like save some of that, make sure that you put some back, pay yourself first in savings, a little, that sort of thing. And sure, luxury, if that's part of what you want to spend it on, that's fine, but not so much so that you are not saving first. All right, save first, then there's time for the luxuries later. Okay. And there's a very like go get it attitude showing up for you here that's going to be beneficial for you. I feel like you're going to be very highly motivated and moving forward, possibly toward new love, new job, something along those lines that's going to be very, again, healing for you. So you have like an opportunity here, Libra, I feel, of some things turning in your favor. And now it's time to really start like seeing your future in the long game. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. Like play the long game, not just the temporary satisfaction game. And that means in love, in work, in your money, in any type of situation. All right, play the long game, and healing is sure to happen for you here with the star and the fortune card. Okay. All right, so let's get some oracle cards for you. So like if this is love also for you, it's like I feel like things could really like fate could change in your direction where you do meet someone, but again, it's important not to be so like independent or aloof that like I would say match the energy of who's coming toward you. If they're excited, they're flirty, they're fun, they want to go do things, it's like don't be aloof. And it's like maybe that's the way you've always played it and that worked for you before, but there's something different wanting to show here. Okay, of like exploring different inner vulnerabilities of yourself and allowing yourself to match their energy as well. Okay? All right, so let's get some oracle cards for you, Libra. Libra, please. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Yeah, this reminds me of like the Eight of Swords kind of energy, anxiety, that sort of thing. And look, new supportive connections. I highly believe new supportive connections are entering your life, and not to play it too aloof. Okay, again, that's really coming through. I feel like this could really change things around for you. These new supportive connections can also help to sort of release like this anxiety, this Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords energy that you may have been carrying for a while, which is like worried. As soon as you think of one thing, something else compounds and compounds and compounds, and then that creates like 50 more million questions and worries and anxieties. So instead of like allowing one anxiety to turn into 50 million, right? It's like do what you can to call upon your inner spiritual strength. That is really like your power here. And that by doing that, you're going to be again, like begets like. So as you are strong and spiritual and demonstrating inner beauty and harmony, you're going to attract new supportive connections. And it's a people card. So this is a prediction card. This is actual people or person or what have you coming into your life, and it is new and supportive. Okay. For others of you, there's another group of cards here. So let's see what that is. Between worlds, fragmented energy. Yeah, right. Fork in the road, and balance. So for other of you Libras, there's it's time to walk out from being in between about something and really seeing something for what it truly is. So in other words, you're seeing it as a fork in the road. You're seeing it as like, well, you know, they need to make a decision, or I'm stuck because of, okay, fill in the blank, like them. And that could be a love romance situation or a work situation. This is saying, no, remove the clouds from the, because when the clouds are over our, and yes, that might be part of it actually, but what Spirit is saying, it's deeper than that. This is again about your inner strength and inner self needing to see things clearly. So like when we remove the clouds from our eyes, then our sacral, solar plexus, chakra, you know, the true desires of how we want to move forward can come through. But when we view everything as like being at a crossroads, like, oh, I don't know, I'm in this. It reminds me of one of the other readings I did for one of the other signs where they were very indecisive. I think it was Virgo actually just recently. But it's like allowing this feeling, in other words, like it's up to something else rather than it's truly up to you to sort of remove the clouds from the eyes and move toward with gusto what it is you really want to go after. That is like the real message here. All right. So instead, we tend to blame it on, well, I'm stuck because this job won't promote me, or because this masculine won't commit, or you know, we tend to make it about them or outer circumstances. And it is about those things, but again, we like begets like, so we draw things in when we're indecisive. So this is about taking those clouds away from your eyes and seeing things for like, really, what do you want to go after here? Because that's your healing ticket. Go after it with gusto. All right, go after new supportive connections. Go join some classes, some art classes, or, you know, something fun that you enjoy, and meet new people, you know, that kind of thing. Step out of the gray world that you've been in into the colorful world, but be careful that it's not drowning in emotion. All right. This is a very, you know, oh my gosh, the puzzle piece is missing from my heart. When will I ever find it? You know, that kind of like sweeping epic romance, you know, kind of thing, which is fun, you know, at times, don't get me wrong, but it can get so deep. She's thigh high deep in water's emotion, that it can start fragmenting our energy from the things that we really do need to pay attention to. So then it's actually just like a avoidance, in other words, or a distraction. So we may tend to attract people who are really just distractions and emotional sort of love stories on a Harlequin romance novel, right? Rather than facing what we really need to remove clouds about. So there's something here about needing to exit clouds and walk into the clear and clarity of your inner strength and healing here. That is what's going to turn the wheel. New supportive connections. Okay. All right. Some of you, there could be like some third party activity here. And that's really, not all of you, but some of you, there's a third party, and this is again like waiting for them to make the choice and things like that, and having that anxiety and that emotional attachment to this situation, when it's really not, you know, your ideal situation. It's not the fork in the road that's going to change your life. What the fork in the road decision that's going to change your life is to take the clouds away from your eyes and see things for what they are truly, right? And then that is going to help you to really see what it is you really want out of life and help you to go get that. All right. And I feel it's not this situation when once you kind of see it. And I feel like the wheel will turn in your favor once you start recognizing new supportive like connections in your life. Okay. All right. So that is Libra. So we are on to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. Let's see what's going on for Scorpio. We are doing a clarity spread for you, Scorpio. So whatever is on your mind, whatever you are searching for, whether it be romantic love, insight, or work, or career, or a family situation, what have you, whatever you are seeking clarity on for Scorpio. Balance. Well, that is super clear. Okay, you also have trust at the bottom of the deck. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see what we have for Scorpio, please. Tell me about Scorpio. I'm really propelled to use these cards. Let me use these for some reason. These are coming out to me. Okay. Scorpio, please. Okay, so now that I have these, we can take a look at the rest of your spread. Whew. This is amazing. I think this is going to be a very helpful reading, Scorpio. Okay. Okay, Scorpio, Spirit is trying to get you to happiness, all right? Really trying to get you to a feeling of connection, safety, security. And the good news is, I feel like you are cooperating in that way, all right? So I do feel like you are understanding the more and it's so scorpionic, the more delicate, what's the word I'm looking for, you're starting to understand how to blend that beautiful scorpionic energy of you. All right, because Scorpio, let's face it, can be very dark, heavy, profound, but in a very dark underbelly kind of way, at times, right? To pull that up and see it and transform. Okay. And you can do that, and the sun can come out, and from that and you can get clarity from digging in the dirt and discovering things and bringing them to the surface. However, it's a delicate kind of tightrope that all Scorpios walk. All right. And I mean, others do too, but especially the sign of Scorpio. It's like, I always put it akin to like a tightrope. You know how the people walk across the tightrope and they've got to like balance themselves just right to get across to the other side, because if they don't, what happens? They fall like the tower. Okay. So it's like, it's that delicate blend of the darkness, the underbelly, and then the flying high, the phoenix from the flames into the sun, right? You can burn yourself by doing that, and you can stay stuck in the dirt. So you don't want either one of those. You have the cleverness to balance both of these, and that is what is showing right now. So here's the good news. I feel like you are doing this, Scorpio. I feel like you are seeing this. You are definitely building a beautiful relationship in your future, or just a simple, comforting happiness. Okay, it's not the Ten of Pentacles. It's not the stuff that legacies are made of, or, anything like that. But honestly, I'm more of a fan of the Ten of Cups, maybe because I'm, water sign, right? So it's like the Ten of Cups to me is a beautiful card of showing gratitude for the blessing of connecting with someone, children or grandchildren, whatever, or just having family in some particular way. And family doesn't have to mean your blood, I mean, it could be like your family, your friends, what have you. So the thing is, I feel like you are on your way to creating some very beautiful, comforting space, basically, for not just yourself, but to share like with someone else and really be enriched by that. So I feel like there's a relationship that is starting to form for you. If this is like a work reading or something like that for you, then it could mean like feeling part of work, feeling like it's family, finding the right job opportunity if you don't have that right now, right? That will feel like your work family or something along those lines. So the thing is, though, it is definitely time to show what you can do. I feel like you've held yourself back in some ways, and that's been necessary. It's been necessary because in that time period, because the thing is, I feel like you were resisting a certain side of yourself. All right. Because the trickster card says transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. And it's like, I do feel like you were like not doing that. Like you were trying to follow the rules. You were trying to follow the convention, the stuffy rules. Kind of reminds me of like the Hierophant type of card, right? Where it's like, having to play the game, kind of thing. The predictable, being predictable and conventional and stuffy and all that, right? And it's like that didn't really work for you, or doesn't really work for you, but you can't like discount it either. And you're starting to learn like how to blend the two of those things together. All right. That there is a certain amount of convention and stuffiness and predictable behavior in this world and all of that. However, it's like, yes, you can understand that and you can see it for what it is, but it doesn't mean you have to be it. So with Trickster, I feel like it's, and this is so Scorpio, I feel like it's you playing the game, but not playing the game. Like, so in other words, it's like you appear to be playing the game, but you're not. You will not be conventional. You will not be stuffy. You will not be predictable, but you have the ability. Because think of like Scorpios, right? So let's take a terrible one, for example, Charles Manson. And I only bring him up because I know his birthday, because he has the same birthday as my brother. So, and my brother's nothing like him. But like, okay. So it's like someone like that. Okay. And again, this is a very dark example, but it's sort of like he was able to like manipulate people to go and do these very dark things. Okay. Supposedly. I don't know. I never know if anything's real or not. Who knows? The whole thing could have been some weird MK Ultra thing. I have no clue. But let's just say that's what actually happened, okay? That he was this person and he did, I mean, we can't get around that. He did manipulate people to do things. So because he's a Scorpio has that ability, right? They can be very manipulating. So this is like the light side, all right? The complete opposite of that, all right? Playing the light game with that, all right? So knowing that you have the ability to do that, all right? Like manipulate in a sense, I feel like you guys have avoided that side of yourself because it's like that's bad. It's bad to manipulate. It's bad to get, to influence others and that sort of thing. Yes, that is true. However, it's also in our, we were given, as Scorpios, we were given that ability for a reason. So there is a positive side to it. So it's not in direct manipulation, but it is in influence. Okay, that's why we have been given the gift to dig things up from the ground, from the roots, and dig it up and look at it and bring it to light. So that doesn't mean that's darkness or that's manipulating people or, anything like that. So it's about blending the like accepting the ability that sometimes you have to appear to be playing the game. But it doesn't mean that you're playing the game. Okay? That is your balance. Not avoiding that side of yourself that can, like, using the trickster energy in a very positive way. But again, you've got to be very careful walking that tightrope, because what you may think is positive and what may be positive and beneficial for, we don't play God. All right. Never. We never play, God and assume that we know what's best for someone. That's, we're talking about ourselves. We do this for ourselves. Okay. Not not Charles Manson, who manipulated people. All right. But we have that manipulation energy for a reason, because we do that for ourselves. Okay. And in doing that, you, in a good way and in a light attribute way, you most likely will have some influence, over, others or situations in a positive way. Okay. Not in an egoistic way, like, oh, I have influence. Not in that way whatsoever. All right. That's that alchemist, that balance, that fine line, that tightrope that needs to be walked. You've been, Scorpios have been given the, each sign has their traits. You've been given the ability to rise, like the death card, rise from the darkness and the death and the destruction and rebuild. So that is your ability. So if you have to sort of play along with the rules, but never give in to the rules, all right, is what I'm seeing as far as your inner self. Okay. So with the Chariot card here, I mean, this is absolutely the same thing as balance. It is literally, I always equate this to the Bhagavad Gita, which is basically like that war of the mind. All right. So the black and white, navigating, steering your chariot in between those. So definitely Scorpio needing to navigate through the black and the white. And and not pay attention to, like, don't steer to the black, don't steer to the white, stay in the center. All right, it's all just a ride. It's all just a ride. So just keep riding forward, and that is going to bring your ultimate, like, comfort zone, what you crave. Here is what I am seeing. Your relationship, your work, family, whatever this means for you. It's going to bring this balance and harmony for you. So I do feel like you have to be a little bit tricky in doing it. But don't deny that you have the ability to transcend convention. Don't deny that within yourself. Don't just play the game. It's like, don't deny this side of yourself. It's very strong. Okay. All right. So let's see. And that would be in relationships too. I'm going to get you a couple oracle cards now, but that can definitely, you know, transfer to love relationships as well. It's like, don't try to fit into the conventional housewife or house husband or trophy wife or trophy husband, any of those types of things. It's like your job is to transcend those things, but in a balanced way. All right. So let's see. What do we have for Scorpio, please? Scorpio. Final messages for Scorpio. Oh my God, you got the sun again. Okay. Let's see here. Because you have the sun here, and this card is called the sun, and it's not a tarot card, it's an oracle card. Okay. Oh wow, so you got two. This is awesome. All right, so I thought it was a whole stack of cards. It's only two, but these make perfect sense here. Okay. Yeah, you definitely need to see your boundaries in a different way. This is exactly what I was talking about, because you can see she's in this protective bubble, right? Or he, whatever, whatever you're identifying, here. So in this protective bubble, but yet on the inside, she's like naked, vulnerable, right? So you can still see the naked, vulnerable, side of you, Scorpio. You can allow that to be seen, and know though that you always have this protection around you. You always have the proper boundaries around you. So that's what I'm getting with this. It's like walking that fine line and knowing how to blend the dark and the light, and not paying attention to either or. All right. It's like the blending of those two. That's what moves you forward. So you cannot deny the trickster energy of you, Scorpio, or the ability to utilize that in higher purpose ways. So never against individuals, but possibly against convention or large organizations or large instances. Never against individuals. Okay, that's what I'm seeing here. So it's like you can allow them to, they can see this part of you, but you are always shielded. That's really cool. All right, and then you have the sun here, where it's like I also feel that the sun is about clarity and it is about positivity. So I do feel like you are on your way to a more optimistic union here with someone. Very clear, very clear. There may be a Leo in your future also, maybe a little bit Cancer cuspy in your future, possibly. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Scorpio. All right, Sagittarius, what is the clarity reading for Sagittarius, please? Detachment and quarrel. So we have Aquarius and Cancer showing up here. Does not have to mean you are dealing with those signs. This is definitely like a tug of war type energy. This could be in your own head in a way. So sort of like needing, because the detachment card reminds me of the Six of Swords with the ship here in the background, and we do have Aquarius energy glyph here. So it's like needing to, in order to move towards smoother sailing waters, it's like then this quarrel has to like stop, right? It's either with someone in particular, or someone's, could be more than one, someone's, new word, or it's like within yourself, like this battle, like this quarrel that you have going on with yourself needs to stop. Needing to let go of things, like overthinking, all those types of things, and really detach for a while. But let's see what the tarot cards have to say. Okay, so Ozzy just came into my head. It was a solo song he did with, gosh, I don't know, what was it, Lita Ford or something? That "Mama, I'm Coming Home" song. Not a huge fan of his, but I kind of liked that song. It was kind of dorky when it came out, but it's one of those songs I've appreciated later, in life. Tell me about Sagittarius, please. Yeah, so somebody could be coming home, or something like that, or traveling. But we're not doing a predictive spread here, but I do see an element of that with that song coming into my head, right? Okay. To show you a different perspective. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, definitely you have some kind of like news or something like that going on. A new idea, a new plan. There's something to let go here of a past quarrel, is what I'm getting. And it's like, because that there's an opportunity here to move toward something, but in order to do so, it's like going to require letting go of the way things used to be. So I feel like there's like an age old quarrel, or I almost get like Hatfield and McCoy's, kind of thing, or something like that, right? Like some of you may not know that reference, but it's like an age old family quarrel, or between different families, or something like that. Could even be within the workplace, the workers and the management, or it's like this versus that is what I'm getting. All right, so detach from any of that, or any like long ago fights that you had with someone. It's requiring to like put those behind you, I feel, for the sake of looking at things from a newer perspective that can really propel you forward. All right, so let me just take a look here and see what else. Your reading actually seems a little more predictive than, because I'm trying to shy away from like current energy prediction with this particular reading, and trying to just help with clarity and insight into your situation and guidance and that sort of thing. But I am getting more of a predictive reading for you guys, and that is what I am seeing. And I feel like there can be a lot of benefit here. Yeah, there may be some sort of opportunity that comes up here that is like, yeah, this is good. But it may be coming from someone who you used to fight with. I would say hear this person out, or if there's someone you feel like communicating with and like straightening things out with, yeah, this could definitely be a time to do that. They would be more open to it, that sort of thing. I hesitate to say that though, because I don't feel like this is necessarily like a love relationship. So like if you are broken up with somebody and like you feel like, well, maybe I should reach out again, maybe, I would wait for the love readings that I do, and let's see what comes out then, because there's no rush with this. Okay. Although I do think something quickly is starting to develop for you. For some of you, I really do feel like this has something to do with like a family quarrel, possibly in disagreement with like how to do something for a child, or and that child could be any age, anywhere from a kid to a full grown adult child. A dear friend also that you may not have like, you may not agree on certain things, and we're going to see that a lot with the politics right now, with elections and things like that, where there could be some heated quarrels. Again, detach from that type of engagement. I feel there's definitely, as I said, a predictive element to this. There is something that needs to be mended between you and someone else. And I feel instead of just sort of texting this person a lot of different things, or, oh yeah, and da 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 da, oh, and da 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 da, like that kind of thing, that it's better to just blow it wide open. And I want to be cautious in giving this because please understand this is a general reading, and you really must trust your intuition and your own instincts. Because again, if you're the type of person that's in like a love situation that you're way too emotionally close to right now, it may not be a good idea to blow something wide open. So again, I caution you to, this does not feel like it's that kind of situation. This feels like a situation where it's someone needs like true advice or true help or true uh, uh, apologies, mending, or something like that. And it doesn't feel like it's a romantic situation. All right. So you may want to watch a different placement if that is what you are looking for. It feels to me more like it is something to do with like a child or a friend or something along those lines. And just kind of giving them little bits or something along those lines, or da 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 da, or a lot of texting or something isn't really going to work. So it's like blow the roof open on this situation in a sense, in a loving way, in a sincere way, and also help this person with something tangible. All right, that they can, instead of just trying to give them little ideas, oh, well, maybe you should do this, or maybe you should do that, or something along those lines. It's like give them an actual tangible help that they can use. And again, that might require you, though, having to do it in a way that is strong and bold. Okay. Now, also here, I feel like motivation and tangible, like answers or action, is what this person needs. They do not need like a plan. Again, like, well, maybe you should do this. Maybe you should do that. Maybe this, they don't need like the plan right now. They need like actual motivation, excitement, something that's going to lift them up and like tangibly. So it could even be money, possibly, or if that's not something that you feel comfortable with, then it's real motivation, not just a whole bunch of little ideas that they could do. It's like real motivation. So in other words, you may need to say, look, like if it's a child, because I almost feel like it's a child, instead of saying, well, why don't you try this, honey? Or why don't you try this? Or, well, maybe just, try this and go to school, and then maybe that'll be something, it's like none of that seems to be doing the trick. Like this person needs like like a real conversation with you, because and detach from disagreeing with them, but also like state what you really truly feel also, because I feel like somebody's meandering and wandering here that needs to like really buckle down, not in a buckle down kind of way, like go to 8 years of school or anything like that, but buckle down in the sense that they need actual direction, an actual idea, something they can get excited about. So if you can, like if you have an idea of what that is, it's like, well, bust that open, bring it to them, but it seems to be something that is more like a quick moving solution rather than, well, why don't we get you enrolled into school and then you can do this, or why don't you come live here and then, maybe after a couple years you can buy a house, or, not that kind of solution. That's not going to work for this person. It needs to be something creative, quick moving, and exciting for them. And it needs to be given with like heartfelt love. I'm going to get some oracle cards on your situation because yours is different than what I've been reading. So that's why it took me, I had to take a minute to kind of connect a little bit more with source. But the one thing that keeps coming across, though, that like the strongest is to do things with love and sincerity with this situation, not with what you feel is like the right thing, and also not giving them so much leeway because you don't want to direct them. And I get that, because with kids, or children or whatever, we don't want to direct them. We don't want to say, this is what you should do, or what have you. Well, some parents do, but we don't also want to give them so much leeway that then they don't really have any direction. I mean, parents are there for a reason, right? So there's something about this where needing to navigate it a little bit in between, but more on the motivation side than the planning side. Yeah, and then there's an increase for this person. Okay, so hold on one second. It's super hot in here. I feel like this is uncomfortable for you to do, but it needs to be done. And that's the thing. It's uncomfortable. But the thing is, we do have a loyal heart card here. But the thing is, are you being loyal to the right situation? All right, take the clouds away from the eyes for a while, okay? And really, are we trying to push through our motivation, or are we really hearing what they need, or seeing what they need, or feeling what they need? So the thing is, it's like, I do feel like you both have a very loyal connection here, and that you both mean very well, but that you just don't disagree on some certain, we just disagree. What was that 70s song? I forget. Anyway. So yeah, there's something about like you guys just disagreeing. So with the declutter and then increase, that's interesting. Because it's about keeping things simple. You guys may be moving. Oh my gosh, maybe that's what this is. Because there's something that's still not clicking right to me, and that's why I wanted more oracle cards. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. You're moving. Okay, so this is a very specific reading. Yeah, Six of Swords. Duh. Okay. I feel like you are moving, Sagittarius. And that there is something about this to see from a different perspective. I think that you need to just rip the Band-Aid off with the Tower. Okay? That's what I am seeing. Again, please keep in mind it's a general reading. Do what feels right for you. But yeah, there's something here about you moving and you possibly not wanting to get in an argument about this, But I think that there's no avoiding it. I think there's going to be an argument about this. And I think this is a matter of needing to rip the Band-Aid off with a situation. All right. There may be two, because we had the, oh, it's gone now because I shuffled the cards a little bit, but I remember seeing the Page of Wands also. So there may be two children involved or something along those lines. I'm really getting a strong feeling that there's children involved in this, or a child. And so maybe they're moving in with you, or and you got to rip the Band-Aid off and tell your husband or your wife or whatever, hey, this is happening. Or you are moving and like you're gonna have to rip the Band-Aid off with the kids. It's like there's no sugarcoating this or something like that. But this is going to be good. You guys definitely need to simplify your lives. By this I mean simplifying your friends, your careful who you show your loyalties to. Declutter old friends that aren't really friends. Okay, if they're not like supportive people in your life, if they are, just don't just hang on to things for loyalty's sake only. Okay? It's like, be very discerning. Remove the clouds from your eyes. You have a motivation here. You want to do something. You want to accomplish things. But so don't let loyalty to others who hold you back be in your way. Yeah, it's time to shake things up and see things how they clearly are. I do feel like you are moving. That's what I feel this reading is about now, because that fits. That's why I was so kind of meandering earlier, because it it just wasn't hitting home yet, like with spirit. Like I wasn't feeling like that absolute confirmation with the things I was saying before. I felt they were true with the reading, but this really hits. So we are definitely on the right track here. You're moving into a much better scenario also. But I do feel it's going to take you ripping the Band-Aid off of something, needing to really know that, yes, loyalty is one thing. But the thing is, if it is a loyal friend or family or whatever, well, then they're not going to fight with you. They're going to love that you are doing something for yourself and increasing. All right. So if anybody's fighting with you, well, then are they really a friend? Are they really, an important, even if you've had loyalty to this person, anybody that wants to hold you back isn't really your friend. Okay. That's selfishness. So I feel like you're just going to have to pull the Band-Aid off of a situation. And it could be a job, I don't know, but you're moving toward an increase. And the thing is, it's like, you can always mend fences with this situation. This person, if they come around to your perspective and they can see like you are sincere about your ambitions or whatever it is you are trying to accomplish here, then they are truly your loyal friend. If they can't see that perspective, then it's time to detox your friendships. Okay, that's why I kept saying that stuff about friends, because I could see that card peeking at the bottom of the deck. So it's like you are doing this out of sincerity, but don't stay loyal to someone who's not supporting you and who's quarreling with you and giving you a hard time. Okay? That could be a job or, a family situation or a work situation or what have you. Now, if it does have something to do with children and moving or something like that, then I do feel like there will be a mending of the situation. They will see the other perspective eventually in time, but your cards are showing like take action. All right. Ace of Wands, inspired new action. Keep your life simple. Get rid of things that you don't need. If you are moving, travel light. Don't worry. You're going to increase and you're going to get more things, more stuff, right? So that's another thing too. Like if you're moving with someone or your kids or whatever, and they have a whole bunch of crap or something, that's going to cost so much more money. Right. Now, sometimes you got to balance that out, because sometimes I know from experience, okay, that sometimes it is cheaper to take things with you because, you always think, oh, well, I'm moving into this new place. I'll just pick up that mop, at Target. I don't need to bring that with me. But then all that stuff really adds up. All right. So some things are smart to bring with you. Waste baskets, mops, cleaning supplies, those types of things. But other things like that are just clutter, that's going to cost you so much more money to move. So also there's a message here about like just clear out some things. Okay, don't take a bunch of stuff with you. You're going to be on the increase. You're going to be able to get new things eventually, and nice things and all that eventually. Okay, all right, that's what I have for you. We are on to Capricorn. Capricorn, please. Tell me about Capricorn. What is the clarity message that they need at this time, regardless of each and everyone's situation? It may be love, it may be work, it may be something else. All right, we have enthusiasm coming out. And we do have flirtation at the bottom of the deck as well. Okay, enthusiasm is your main theme. Sun in Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is about expansion, positivity, creativity, excitement, those types of things. So doing things with enthusiasm, with the expectations of enthusiasm, flirting with enthusiasm. You did have flirtation underneath the deck. Okay. All right. So what else do we have for Capricorn? Those Capricorns that are seeking clarity on a specific subject or situation or decision. What is the message for Capricorn, please? Okay. So quite a few major arcana coming out in your reading. All right. Got 4 major arcana cards in your reading. Okay. And we got an extra card here. Interesting. Okay. So I'm hearing that song. Don't know where I'm going, but I do know where I've been. I don't know. 80s hair band. I can't think of. Yeah, this song came into my head like a while ago. It was another reading I did. Yeah, walk along the lonely street. Yeah, here I go again on my own. Yeah, Whitesnake. I don't know if that was your reading. It came through last time, but I remember that song came through another All Signs reading I did. Like, and I know it's weird because it's not a song I listen to. So, all right, here I go again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known. Okay, like a drifter, I was something to walk alone. Okay, so yeah, you guys are possibly. You guys have been like alone for a while, and there's a reason for that, and not in a mean way or a negative way. In there's a reason, and I bet you anything when I clarify, it's because it's going to get you to make a connection that is going to be very nice. Okay, so I feel like the 8 of Pentacles is definitely a card of like walking alone in a sense, especially with the Judgment card. I feel like there's been a karma here for you to have time alone. I think that there's a lot of enthusiastic change that's going to be coming your way. I feel like many of you have been sort of like, I don't know, hidden, or like, relationships aren't really connecting right now, or you've put yourself possibly or felt like, you're in a position of a lot of alone time. That's going to change is what I see. So there's been a reason for this, though. It's all so that you could see your inner strength and take time to like hone your physical skills, your cosmic skills, things of that nature. All right. So it's like there's like working on yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. And I feel like this is one of those situations where you're going, like, you don't see it now, but you're going to see how this all, like, happened for a reason. All right. And it's like with the moon card here, the thing is about, like, not trying to figure out why right now. All right. Instead, it's like get into the expectant mode of enthusiasm here for sure. Let go of the need for more and more and more and more clarity right now. All right. The clarity will come. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're not seeing this right now, but all of this that you're doing is benefiting you and putting you in like the right position for either a relationship or a work situation or a life situation in general. It's very important though not to keep seeking like the answer, the answer, the answer, the answer, the whys, the whys, the whys right now. Instead, like, start just focusing on what you do best, Capricorn, which, your stability, getting grounded, things like that. This is a time of more grounded and stability energy for you to focus on rather than the deeper questions of life or the spiritual nature of life. Not saying you should negate those because it's a combination of all of those things, okay? But it's like this is more like we have 4 and 4 here. The stability is what it's time to move into now. So the grounded stability, taking leadership over your stability, over saving some money back, over your future and that sort of thing, regardless of your age. Okay. So it's not a time to dive into whys and spiritual whys and karmas and why is this happening and why is that happening and needing more information, more information, more information. Now is a time to just like accept that you may not know exactly why some things have set up the way they did or have in the past up till now, but they are about to change and you are going to be very enthusiastic moving forward and things are going to be headed in a more positive direction for you, but it requires you to stop asking the whys and like just take leadership over your stability. So for instance, it's like it's hard to solve like a material problem with just spiritual resources. I'm not saying it's not possible because it is possible. I mean, spiritual resources is God, love, everything, right? But the thing is, we're not masters. So for us humans, it's very difficult to solve a material problem with only spirituality. Just as many rich people find, right? Or, well, they don't, but, they would find, if they look deeper, that it's like they can't solve a spiritual problem with money. That's why we see a lot of rich people with like gobs of money, but spiritually bereft. All right, so it's the same thing. It's like it works the other way too. It's like we can't really solve a material problem with just relying on spirit and source and God and that sort of thing. Again, yes, in the grander scheme of things you can if you're a master. Right, like if you plan on really, honing in on the secrets of the universe and stuff like that, sure. But just by watching some YouTube videos and reading some wisdom books and meditating here and there, that's not going to do it, right? So it's like and those things are awesome. I'm not putting those down. I mean, that is, all part of the life journey. But this is saying like focus on stability. That is, not the whys and the deeper things and the spiritual this and that and the other. Yes, focus on those things too, because you do need that, but add this element. All right. So let's see what we get for you. Now, if this is a love question for you or something along those lines, it's like, I feel like you are allowing someone like too much stoic freedom. and that it's time to bring some enthusiastic energy back into the relationship. So, in other words, your masculine or whatever sign you are seeing or inquiring about, if it is a romantic love reading for you or situation, they've, it's like, yes, they do need their time alone, but too much time alone that's going to slip into a big rut, and it's probably already there. So do what you can to like introduce some new positivity and enthusiastic energy into like your to break up your routines, okay, with each other. Okay, so let's see, what do we have for Capricorn, please? Any final messages here for Capricorn? Resistance. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here too. Okay. Um let me get one more. Attracting, not chasing, right? And stuck energy. Yeah. So I just see this sort of stuck resistance. Yeah, it's like not chasing the answers. I feel like you just need to attract more enthusiasm into your life and like not chase the answers of something anymore. So like if it's a masculine that you didn't really quite get closure with, or if you are stuck in your relationship, or if it's work, or whatever it is, that is keeping you stuck, or feeling like you are staying stuck, then it's not about chasing the answers of why. It's about focusing more on, again, leadership of self, not resisting like like that things want to be enthusiastic and grow and change. All right, but when we're so used to being a lone wolf and alone and this sort of thing, again, there was a reason for you feeling alone. It was to get you to this energy of like having that time to develop your inner spirituality and strength, possibly a specific skill or a hobby or something that you love. It could even be spirituality, or something along those lines, or some kind of art or skill or something along those, that. So it's like all of that was necessary to keep you actually from like a flourishing relationship or a flourishing social life or a flourishing job, or something like that, so that you could hone these skills. And it doesn't make sense now, but it will. But we don't want to keep chasing the answer. All right, that's going to keep you stuck in the mud. All right. And we also don't want to just rely on source like magic. The magic rainbow will solve everything, right? We do have to take action, but not resist the things that do want to grow. If something wants to grow, let it grow in a positive way. Because if we're too alone for too long, then it's almost like that's what we become used to. And then when enthusiastic things or people or situations are around us, we're almost like, ugh, that's too much, because we're used to being alone. So there's something here about not resisting like the fun, enthusiastic side of life. Don't give up on that yet, and allow that to come to you and be a part of your life, and things are going to be changing for you. You have a lot of I feel like by next year things are going to look a lot different for you, especially if you've been alone or felt alone with someone for a long time. Things are going to look a lot different for you. Okay. All right, so that is Capricorn. We are on to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. Let's see what we can do here. We're going to get you some clarity on whatever subject matter you are thinking about at this time. So let's see what comes out for you, Aquarius. Tell me about Aquarius, please. They are seeking clarity for a situation or some kind of decision. Okay. So we have companionship, adaptability, and resistance also showing up here. Okay. So we have companionship, adaptability, Gemini, and Taurus and Aquarius. Your sign. Okay. Well, that sounds Aquarian. Okay, like bringing together a group of people or something like that in companionship, adapting. There could be some resistance, some stubbornness with the Taurus energy here. It does not have to be a Taurus, but like that type of energy. Okay, so if anyone can wrangle something like this, it looks like it is you. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what's going on here. It could even be within a love relationship or a work situation, something along those lines too. But let's see. All right, so tell me what does Aquarius need to know about whatever is on their mind that can help to give them the clarity they are seeking? What information can you give them, please, Spirit, for the information they are seeking? Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, really coming into your ability here to really talk things through, heal situations, not just leave them to chance or fate or something along those lines. Okay. Mm-hmm. Not overburdening yourself and thinking about this too much, all right, is coming out as well. Yeah, all right. Yeah, so there's something here designed, wow, yeah, and you have the 10 of Cups here. Designed to, and you have Justice at the bottom of the deck too, like good karma scales, balance, that sort of thing. I believe Scorpio had this in their reading as well. I think it was Scorpio, I'm not sure. So, okay, so you could even be dealing with another Aquarius, but here's the thing. With this reading, yeah, pieces. I meant to say peace and truces are in your favor right now. So, like, this could even be like within your own self, like the adaptability and resistance could be like yourself, or it could be dealing with others. Some are adaptable, some are resistant, something along those lines, or this is just your energy. Sometimes you feel adaptable, sometimes you feel resistant. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Okay, that's an oldie. Okay, so yeah, I feel like there's part of you that just sort of like, oh well, whatever, I'm just going to sort of let the chips fall where they may, caution to the, whatever, you're just sort of cruising along, not really letting anything bother you, or you want to be like that is what I'm getting here. But I do feel like Spirit is urging you to like clear the air in a direct way, but in a healing way. So by direct, I don't mean like clear the air, or you need to do this, or you need to settle this, or something like that, where it's real ultimatumish or anything like that. That's definitely not working, and it has possibly been adding to this resistance energy with someone, because I feel like either someone or you here is like overthinking something, or tired of like they may feel like sort of on the outside of things, or like they don't fit into your world or something like that. Kind of beaten down kind of energy here. So it's probably more like, just your energy in general. Although these could be others that you are dealing with, since you do have, several people on the card here. But it's like being very clear and direct, but not in a menacing way or a harmful way or an insincere way or an ultimatum way or anything like that, for the purpose of healing. And I also feel for the purpose of truce, of peace, and harmony. I don't normally go with truce with the Two of Swords, although it is a major keyword for the Rider-Waite Tarot. Um, but I am feeling that in this particular thing. I don't think this is you not seeing something or anything like that because of the positioning of my spread. So I feel like this is saying bringing peace to this situation by clearing the air, not just like, oh, well, whatever happens, happens, kind of thing. But again, in a very healing way. Okay, because you have the Ace of Swords as well. And it's like, this is clearing the air for the harmony of a situation. Yeah, I feel like there's others involved here. Family, work family, friends, whatever it may be. It could even be like if it's a romantic relationship, this could even be, well, if, maybe it is time to divorce or split or something like that, possibly. Again, it's a general reading, so let's not, I don't want to get any life-changing decisions going on here that will not apply to everyone, right? So, but if that's something you've been struggling with for a while, then that could be it too, because I do feel like there's a sense of either you or someone else, or maybe all involved, of being like just sort of like worn out, like nothing that they do is right, or no matter how much work they put into something, it's still like not right, or what have you. So I feel like in just expressing what you do need, instead of sort of leaving it up to yourself to just hope that fills in the blank, or leaving it up to someone else to figure out. It's like, have that clearing of the air and discussion. And that brings like peace to a situation also. Okay, so let's see what else we have for you. And that will help meld the adaptability and like any type of resistance issues into like a flourishing situation, for sure, by clearing the air. Okay, what do we have for Aquarius, please? Surrender, beautiful. Yeah, that's like that Two of Swords. Surrender to the divine. It's very Buddhist. Okay, what else for Aquarius, please? Okay, letting go. Yeah, that's what I sense. I feel like you feel like you have like freed yourself from a situation, but there may be something to actually say and like get off your chest. But again, not in a devastating way or a cutting down kind of way, in a just clear the air kind of way. If you are letting go of this situation or person, like be clear about it. Don't give them like false hope or, something like that also. But you do have surrender and letting go. Stop trying to like, the card, in other words, is showing us like to stop trying to force something through only this door. Like it's got to be that door. Like there's all these other open doors here as well. And the more we try to tug, right, on the dog, the alpha or that energy, right, they dig their heels in, they resist. And then it's hard, because, but if you think that's the only door and that's the one you're trying to move them through, well, then you're possibly like pulling too hard, and then they dig their heels in. Whereas if you give them a little bit of leeway, not too much, not so much, but, give them some leeway, then right when we actually do walk a dog, when it's not a metaphor, that works, right? Because when we're walking a dog and we're yanking on the leash and all that, then what does the dog do? They dig their heels in and they're like, you ain't leading me anywhere, or if we give them too much slack on the leash, then they're kind of all over the place. So it's that proper balance, right, of just the right amount of equal of direction, right? Allowing, trusting enough, and then they trust you, and then everything works smoothly, kind of thing. Okay, Healer of the ages. Okay. Also, too, surrendering to like prayer. Some of you literally like Jesus, maybe, you know, like that might be something like maybe some of you are Buddhists and you're like, oh, you know, I don't know, I don't sign up for the Jesus thing, or vice versa, a very into Christian energy and like, oh, I don't know about those Buddhists, or there's something here to learn from both East and West culture. All right, instead of just trying to fit everything through one door, you can learn from both Eastern and Western philosophy. This will greatly enhance your intuition and manifestation. Yeah, because some of you are feeling like like a ticking time bomb of like running out of time or something like that, and feeling nervous about that and wanting like this sort of like rescue scenario to come along, right? But the thing is, I do feel like absolutely that can happen, but it has a lot to do with how you express yourself clearly and also surrender to divine. And we also, I can see this take a divinely guided chance with the decrease card. The decrease card is when we pour too much emotion into something that's not growing. And when we pour all of our pure, beautiful water, means emotion in Oracle, right? And there's not even anything growing from it. It's the wrong thing. We're not putting our emotions in the right energy, then in the right vessels, in the right, we're not watering something that actually grows. So needing to recognize where we pour our emotion into. And then we have this beautiful card, which is my absolute favorite card out of this entire humongous mixed oracle card deck that I use. So here's what this says. All positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar, but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. So really needing to let go of trying to force something through a door that's just not working right. And it may be comfortable and familiar, but it's no longer appropriate for you. And as you let go of that, then you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. Okay. All right. That's what I have for Aquarius. We are on to Pisces. Okay, Pisces, let's see what the message is for Pisces. We are looking to get you the clarity you are seeking in any particular situation for whomever is watching this Pisces reading. So you may be wondering about love. You may be wondering about possibly a family situation or a work or career situation. So we are going to supply a general reading here that could apply to any of those types of things for you. All right, what type of clarity can we give to Pisces at this time, please? All right, so you have the Riches card. Wow, okay. And protection here also. This also always reminds me of like that phrase they talk about, like a tiger mom or something like that, because of the tiger. And then we have this protection and like protecting the children, you know, something along those lines. So I do feel like there is definitely some sort of, there's a major lesson tied into this because it's a 10, like the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so I'm picturing the Wheel of Fortune here, but we also have Saturn in Capricorn. So we also have restrictive, masculine kind of vibe going on here too. So let's see, but we have this like feminine, almost like Venus quality going. So let's see what your card is about. Okay. All right. I mean, what your reading is about for clarity. All right. So let's get Pisces some clarity here, where they are seeking clarity. Help us out here, Spirit, with the highest, clearest information. Interesting. Oh. Oh. Wow. Okay. You guys have been in like a really deep, I almost said stupor. It's interesting, like a deep stupor. And I know that doesn't sound very complimentary, but the thing is, you've been in that for a reason, okay? Because I see the next two cards. Okay, so the reason, yeah, I was saying there's a reason that things have been moody. They've been deep. They've been emotional. There's been a lot of thinking processes going on here with the Queen of Cups. And it's all to get you into this very nurturing, very optimistic energy. Yeah, again, like with that, where was that like tiger mommy kind of card? Where's that? Yeah, it's like Empress vibes here to me. So the moon in Aries. Aries is about action. Um, yeah, so protecting, yeah, like the young ones or something like that too. Some of you have a skill at that, and that could really like make you like a really turn your fate or your fortune in some way. Some of you are like, you have mother skills, or you have the ability to, I don't know what that would mean. All right, it's so broad, but it could have something to do with protecting children, or showing mothers ways of doing that, or something like that. I feel could make you like a lot of money or something along those lines. Also, you know, I don't want to just focus on that, because that's a beautiful thing to do. I mean, anything, like if you have enlightening information that can help parents and be more, you know, be better, or be or raise very optimistic children or something like that, absolutely. Yeah, some of you have a skill with the balance of like between tiger mom and freedom, with, you know, of creativity with children. Okay, very specific stuff there, so I don't know if that's for everybody, but anyway, okay. So, but yeah, there's definitely like a money making opportunity there for you, and I don't mean to make it sound like in a greedy way, like, oh yeah, hop on board with that, Pisces. You know, it's like it does a good thing too. All right, so it's like it's a win-win all the way around. It's a win for you financially, but it's a win for those who glean like your knowledge and your nurturing wisdom and things like that. Okay, so for others of you, let's see here. Yeah, it's time to sort of change gears in a way that's not. No, it is shocking. It's time for you to change gears in a way that's shocking. Okay. And stop like holding resentment, or holding yourself back for fighting and protecting what you really want. Okay. So it's like, I feel it's time for you to claim like your stake, or claim your place, or stand up like to someone or something like that in a way. All right. This is not to start arguments or to start a fight or to start, you know, a whole bunch of negativity in your life or anything like that. But there's definitely something here about claiming what's yours in a fairly shake things up kind of way, but not by being vengeful. Like it can't be based on that. It can't be based on vengeance or blames or things of that nature. All right, this has to come from your most highest nurturing aspect. I feel there's also some of you, there's something about like cleverly, like if you guys are escaping some kind of situation here, like hostile situation, whether it be like a, you know, a hostile boss or a hostile relationship, or, you know, any of those things, it's like there's something here about cleverly sort of not letting someone know what money you have. Okay, so I see that as well. So if it's a job that you're trying to get out of because it's a hostile environment, like on the down low, put out your resumes. Don't tell anyone you're leaving. You know, things like that. Do things on the down low, do it cleverly. Put out your resumes, and you're going to receive, you know, don't tell people you're going on an interview, not even close coworkers, anything like that. Do everything on the down low. But I can't urge enough not to do things from vengefulness or resentment. To do things out of loving care for oneself, or, you know, or if it's a child's bright future. Okay, something like that. Because if it's a hostile environment, that can never be good for a child's bright future or creativity or something like that, right? So then cleverly get your ducks in a row here, and it's like I do feel you you can definitely land on your feet here with the 10, which is about ending a cycle, starting a new one. Saturn in Capricorn is suggesting that you've endured like a really, really, really long time of not having like this positive energy around you. So I feel like you are due for some positive energy here. But it will require, like I said, like really being willing to shake up and expose like a foundation that wasn't built solidly to begin with, and acknowledging that and kind of blowing something open, you know, and being a little bit unpredictable here. Okay. All right, so let's see what we have with the oracle cards. Anything else for Pisces, please? When you shine, your child shines. Oh, hello. Hello, hot moon extremes. Okay, and you have blackout distractions sticking up. So reminding you not to get too distracted by like this always reminds me of like romance novel, you know, kind of smoky, steamy motel room cover, you know, book cover. So don't let that be a motivation or anything like that. Like, block out distractions. Your motivation should be you, your self care, your highest good, and how you present yourself then to, if there are any children involved. Okay, because I saw that, you know, that card makes me think of children. We have the sun card here with a little, you know, baby here as well. So anything that you are making decisions about should be because they are for your highest best self care. And if they are, that will expand light to any others involved. Okay, but if we use like other types of distractions or sexy scenarios or things like that, those are just distractions. We want to do this based on us. All right, that's for sure. Not just because we're kind of bored at home and we want our life to be more exciting or something like that, right? We want to do something because it's for our self-preservation and care. Yeah, sixth chakra action. Start visualizing the action that you want to take, and it will require flexibility. And what else did we have over here? Yeah, attracting, not chasing, and stuck energy. Okay, and then visualize abundance in all forms. So if you are in a relationship, for instance, it's like we want to attract like positive things. We don't want to chase after things, and especially not chase after anyone who is in stuck energy, because then what are we chasing? Stuck energy. You know, we got to look at things cosmically and energetically and take the personalities and the things like that aside from things sometimes and look at things as if they were like little blocks of energy. So what are we really going after? Or, like take the person out of the equation, take the job out of the equation, the specific job, or, whatever it may be for you. And just see these like little blocks of energy. Well, does this block of energy that you're going after radiate like, oh my God, love, happiness, amazing self-care, or does it radiate stuck energy? Because if you're going after that, well, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get that for yourself. All right. So if we don't want to, be chasing after some kind of energy that's stuck, because that's just going to keep us stuck as it has been. Okay, so we want to see that block of energy. We want to see the one that's glowing over here that like we can't help but just dive into, because it's just amazing, and that beautiful glow and all that sort of thing, right? And we want to dive into that because we've attracted it. We didn't chase it. We've attracted that because we have done beautiful self-care and optimistic things for ourselves. All right. And then you have visualize abundance in all forms. And look, you have visualize here with the 6th chakra and action. So it says visualize abundance in this oracle card, right? And in this oracle card, it's showing you visualization. Visualize yourself taking flexible action and freedom. The ballerina, right? She's flexible, dancing. So it says, God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. So hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, and positive, and filled with blessings. And that is what you will experience. So here's your visualization. Definitely. Right? It's like all kinds of abundance, nurturing, self-care, energy, positivity. Sun is out giving clarity to things that before, we don't want to be in this mopey emotional energy. We want to be in this beautiful, productive energy. All right. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. I hope you enjoyed your reading, and thank you so much. All right.